This is Prey, not to be confused with Prey, because Prey is a different game. There are some similarities. Prey is a sci-fi first-person shooter. Prey is a sci-fi first-person shooter. But the similarities end there. Prey takes place on a big alien ball. Prey takes place on a human space station. Prey has connections to African mythology. Prey does ill-advised human experimentation. Prey has portals. Prey has elevators. Prey looks like a bunch of circuit boards. Prey looks like a bunch of squiggly shit. Apparently it was the publishers who insisted that Prey was called Prey. The developers didn't like this idea because they thought if they called Prey Prey, people might confuse it with Prey. I don't know what made them think that. So what is Prey about? You know what, I'm going to stop now. What is this game about?
Good morning, Morgan. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032.
Well, it's an alien invasion aboard a space station. Not exactly the most original of concepts, is it? First thing I noticed is the game's style of picking things up. I love the way you automatically open cupboards and boxes just by looking at them, instead of having to switch your thumb from the thumbstick to press a button. Also, you can pick up random useless objects. It's gonna be the kind of game where everything gets in your way, isn't it? What? Okay. Colour me suitably impressed. Not just with the visuals, but with the sleight of hand shit they've pulled here. Look at that! And yes, I did notice the bottle of wine was in the wrong place second time round. You thought we hadn't noticed? We did. What was that? Ha! Sneaky fucker. But not sneaky enough. You have to be extremely careful. Mimics, as they're known, can take the form of anything in the environment. Oi! As I was saying, mimics can take the form of anything in the environment. Items the size of a coffee cup to a chair. And their size range means that when you enter a room for the first time, you start getting paranoid over stationary objects. And it's fucking awesome. This is by far and away the best part of the game, when it's busy playing mind games with you, and it's so good at it. Side mission. Okay, someone called Bellamy took some research he shouldn't have. Could be useful to me. His body's in trauma. Checking the computer. Security terminals can be used to find people. Okay, looking for him in trauma. Oh, wait. It seems the list on the left is the department where they work not where they are. And the people are sorted by first name, not surname. This is a bit confusing. Got him. He is indeed in trauma in the lobby. Here we go. Bugger! Good news, I found Bellamy's ID bracelet. Bad news, he wasn't attached to it. Damn! They redirected him to psychotronics. Yes, this is turning into a scavenger hunt. Albeit one where the first prize is a dead body. But I do like the way I'm able to track down Bellamy on my own. At least partially. No one told me to check the computer to learn he had something valuable in the first place. No one directed me to the security terminal to double check his location. Nothing pointed me to the trauma email to discover he'd been redirected. And by the way, if I hadn't had the presence of mind to check the receptionist's email before entering trauma proper, I would have run into a fuck that enemy I'm not really eager to meet. As I played further in, and I saw more and more of the game, more and more of the features, I realised it reminded me of another game, BioShock. The separate levels that are all connected into a large free-roaming environment, emphasis, at first, on melee combat, resources scattered all over the place, roving enemies, defensive turrets, documents to read, audio logs to listen to, containers to search, service stations scattered throughout. Instead of capitalism at the bottom of the ocean, it's questionable research in space. But the rest is eerily familiar. You even have a wrench. You even do the 1-2 punch with the wrench. Except here, instead of electrobolting then hitting, you glue gun then hit. Even more impressively, every single individual on the station is accounted for. Everyone is either dead or wandering around somewhere. You can, as I've said before, use the computers to track the location of their wristband. It's a nifty way of tracking down little collectibles and extras. There is a hacking skill in the game. And honestly, it's disappointing. I was expecting hacking to be more of a thing. You know, as someone who mains hacking wherever possible, BioShock, Cyberpunk, I was expecting to be able to turn security to my side, undermine the enemy or something, but you only ever get to use it to break into emails on computers or keypads or safes, that kind of thing. And often, there's more than one way to proceed with these obstacles, so you don't even need hacking. Annoyingly, I also had to spend neuromods on the upgrade. Which brings me neatly to the upgrade system. It's pants. You see, there's a lot of upgrades, 3 branches in total. Later there's more, but at the start, 3 is plenty to go at, because each unlock requires a certain number of neuromods. And the costs aren't cheap. Plus, they aren't reversible. So if you make a bad call, there's no going back. Neuromods can be found or fabricated using materials once you have the blueprint for them. Recyclers can help in that regard, but neuromods still require a large amount of materials to make, especially exotic material. So upgrades are rare, expensive, and irreversible. Also, why does my suit's inventory capacity require neuromods to expand? Why do I have to increase my mental capacity to upgrade my physical ability to carry more crap? That doesn't make any sense. I was also looking for an item box system for a while. Eventually it dawned on me, there isn't one. Items stay exactly where you drop them though. So I dragged a briefcase and later on a filing cabinet back to my office to act as extra storage.
Good morning, Talos. Warning. Tampering with administrative controls on workstations or keypads may result in electric shock. If you're having trouble accessing a system, please send a help alert to security.
And it's at this point the game gives you the Psychoscope. No, it's not a gadget for detecting lunatics, it detects aliens. And at first I was so grateful. No more ambushes, marking enemies so you can track their positions, research to determine their weaknesses. Wait a minute, go back to that first point again. No more ambushes? But that was the best part! I mean, I know I don't have to use the scope, but... seriously? Look, it is helpful. I was using it all the time. But no more paranoia? Bit of a buzzkill.
Scan complete. More specimens required.
Thermal Phantom. Shoots fire. Lovely. Yeah, since I don't know really what I'm facing it... Oh, Mimic! Mimic! Oh, 2 of them. Great. I'm taking a turret with me. It won't last long, they're pretty fragile, but I don't need it to. Whoa! Okay.
Warning, suit integrity damaged.
Okay. What the fuck just happened? I'm actually asking. What the fuck happened?
Warning, suit integrity damaged.
So, apparently your character can drop dead of a heart attack. At least that's my diagnosis. Try again. Shit! Shit! I can't fire the glue gun over the railing! Damn Damn it, that's annoying. Fuck, going in. Switching the Q-beam. Alright, live with this. Yeah, he did live with it. Me, on the other hand.
Scan complete. More specimens required.
And exit stage right. Quite a while later, I returned to Trauma. Yes, the place with the fuck that thermal phantom from earlier. I reasoned that this guy has no mimics backing him up, at least none that I can spot. And if I can set up some turrets as well, that might give me an edge? Maybe? Holy shit, he just one-shotted both turrets. Glue him up. Switch to shotgun. Fuck, he broke out already. Ugh, and after being humiliated by a pair of regular phantoms,
Suit integrity damaged.
three times, I started to wonder where I went wrong. I'll be honest, I almost turned the game off and didn't come back. Seriously. Instead, I decided to start again. This time, instead of going for hacking, repairs and stealth, I'd go for wrench and weapon upgrades along with health. In other words, ditch the useless shit and compensate for my character's weaknesses. First mimics I encounter do exactly the same thing as they did last time. That was disappointing. It doesn't last though. This mimic had me running round in circles in a small office for over a minute. I think this might be my favourite fight. Playing an elaborate cat and mouse game. One with all the power, the other can just vanish into the scenery. This I could do for the rest of the game. Eventually back to Trauma. Isolated the thermal phantom. Got inside. Got spotted.
Vital signs critical. Warning, suit integrity damaged.
And dropped dead. Again! And no, I didn't mean to fight both at the same time.
Alien threat detected.
It's at this point I decide I've had enough. I'm done. It started so well. The bait and switch, the looking glass tech, the paranoia-inducing mimics. But the mind games don't last. The sleight of hand isn't repeated, perhaps obviously, and the psychoscope renders the mimics ineffective. When that happens, you're reduced to generically running around grabbing items, fighting monsters, and finding the next waypoint. You are constantly on the defensive in a fight, which I wouldn't mind if the game didn't occasionally force a confrontation on you. Even when you acquire powerful weapons like the destructive Q-beam, it only evens the playing field for a moment. It took me an entire battery of this weapon just to kill one purple phantom. And those batteries don't exactly grow on trees. I love the way you can skip sections of an objective if you explore on your own. I love the paranoia-inducing mimics. When the game is being atmospheric, it is fucking awesome. When it suddenly remembers it's also an action game, it fucking sucks. You're not fighting an alien invasion, you're surviving one. That is made abundantly clear to you very early on. That never changes. For me, it was just too much of an ask with the equipment you're given. As someone who likes sneaking and hacking, I thought I'd be right at home here, but there's not enough options for me. Sneaking doesn't give you enough of an edge, hacking just opens certain locks, you can't use it as an alternative to combat, and when a fight breaks out, you're not equipped for one. I can see why people like it, but fuck me, I'm beating my head against a brick wall, and frankly, it's giving me a headache.